Happy Thursday. Welcome to Thursday Talks with the Costales team. It's been a while since we've been on here, but Mark and I are going live today, and we're so excited to come live to you and have some discussions and kind of share specifically something that we experienced a couple weeks ago when we were in New Jersey. And so if you guys can hear me, make sure you drop a comment or drop a like or comment and let me know where you are watching from. If things are very clear. Hello, Rod. Thank you for joining us. I think Mark is going to be joining as well. Oh, there he is. Hello.
What is going on?
Ooh, it looks very foggy where you're at. Oh, that's,
Bring it closer. How about that? Feel better?
yeah. Is it foggy where you're at?
No, it's not. It's just the lighting. It's really dark. I'm in
Okay. Oh, we
the
have
car.
Bang and Breezy here. We have Courtney on here. Wow, we have a lot of people on here today. So before we get started, I just wanted to ask, and if anyone watching here knows the answer, I'm asking you as well. Does anyone know what state the Kansas City Chiefs represent or are from?
I do.
Do you know? Wait, don't answer. Do you know the answer?
I do.
Okay, what is it?
Ohio.
Kansas City Chiefs are from
I think
Ohio? You're
so.
so cute. So I thought the Kansas City Chiefs were from Kansas. And yes, Bang and Breezy and Rod Wilson, Missouri. Kansas City Chiefs, Missouri. There's a Kansas City in Missouri. This whole time I thought Kansas City Chiefs were from Kansas. But I was just talking to someone before I hopped on this live, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go watch the Kansas City game." And I said, "Oh, you're a Kansas City fan?" And she goes, "Duh, I'm from Missouri." And I said, "What does Missouri have to do with the Kansas City Chiefs?"
I
And
thought it
so,
was Kansas City. Ohio. No, I don't know. I'm tripping. Never
yeah.
mind.
So food for thought. I guess everyone here on this live, you guys all knew. Mark and I obviously did not know until today. We were today years old when we found out that Kansas City Chiefs are from Missouri.
Plus, I'm a Niner fan and I hate the Chiefs.
Yes.
So why would I care?
And if you're watching this from another country or another state, you might not know that the San Francisco 49ers are not from San Francisco. So,
Well, they're not in San Francisco.
right, right. But it's so confusing. I don't know why they can't just make things simple. I was like, oh, Kansas City is not in Kansas. Got it.
But we're not the only ones, though.
Right, right. Anyhow, so that was just a prequel to nothing that we're talking about today. And so I wanted to jump on here and share. I don't know if you guys saw our post from several weeks ago. We were in New Jersey, New York. We went to Baltimore, Maryland. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by my moving jacket because my dog is eating my jacket in the background. Um, but yeah, we went to Philadelphia, right? We went to a lot of places. Yeah, you guys are just gonna keep seeing that jacket twirl in the background. So yeah, we went to Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within. Mark, for anyone that's on here that maybe if you guys haven't seen it or maybe you don't even know who Tony Robbins is. I don't know if everyone knows. Do you guys know who Tony Robbins is? Drop a comment below. But Mark, why don't you just tell them who he is and kind of where we went and what we did?
So, um, well, let's start first. So anybody that doesn't know who Tony Robbins is, he's one mountain of a person. He's like massive, right? Just a big human being. And I didn't know any of this stuff before I knew who he was, before, Shallow Hal. But evidently he's been in the he's a public speaker and a motivational speaker, but also he coaches a lot of different people. We're talking sports. I think he coached Conor McGregor. He's coached a lot of
Athletes.
CEOs,
Yeah.
athletes, but a motivational speaker, right? To this day, I actually Googled him. He's the highest paid public speaker in the world, um, ranging between minimum $300,000 to speak. I don't know how long you're getting for 300,000, but that's who Tony Robbins kind of is. Now, one going to all the way to New Jersey to go check this out was it was definitely a feat that was been waiting for since 2020, because we actually wanted to go before COVID, and right when COVID hit, we had purchased tickets already, and it got postponed because of COVID, right? And this was the last year to use it before we lose it. And these tickets were not cheap. I mean, they were close to like 5 stacks, and not 500. You just add another zero, but it was expensive. It was not cheap to go. And Joraine and I thought that this is maybe, elevating ourselves, elevating our business, but also just elevating our minds, right? Um, and it was a very, very interesting experience for the positive, right? I was going in there not expecting anything. Just kind of like, all right, I've been to many conferences. Like, how motivational can this guy be? I've heard a lot of different speakers speak, and and the thing is, it's like just the first day was just going to give you an idea of what was going to happen for the rest of the conference, right? So we start. It started at 8 o'clock, and mind you, you're still registering and stuff like that. Um, and he was speaking, and we didn't get done till about 3 a.m. I mean, we're going, what, 14 hours, plus, just so we can hear this guy speak. And he was taking, breaks here and there. But I mean, still, for the most part, he was speaking for that long period of time. We did do the firewalk, Rod. It was an interesting experience. Joraine says it was probably the most daring thing we've ever done. But, for me, it was probably, for me, the most daring thing. Right. But I mean, Joraine jumped out of a plane. So that's scarier than walking on freaking coals. So my experience, like I said, it was pretty life changing. There was a lot of different things that we learned that we've definitely implemented, kind of slipped back, but I mean, we're definitely trying to elevate ourselves, but also the way that we live, the way that we do life, right? So
Yeah.
and
Oh,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt.
No,
Go
no,
ahead. Were you?
go ahead. I was
No,
just gonna say,
you were gonna say. Go ahead.
trying to unleash the power within. I
Oh
mean,
gosh.
whatever.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions about like how that experience was, feel free to drop them in the chat and we can answer them. But like Mark was saying, that first day, it wasn't 13 hours. I think it was like closer to 18 hours, right? Because 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. 24 minus 5.
That's actually 6.
Wait, hold on. There's a reason why we do real estate and we don't do math.
19 hours.
But yeah, no, yeah. And we did the firewalk. That required so much mental preparation. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was not prepared. Like Mark said, we had no idea, nothing to expect, no expectations. We were just very open. And so when we went and Tony said the first day, he goes, yeah, we're going to, you guys are going to do the fire walk and you're going to be walking on 2,000-degree hot coals by the end of the day. I said, oh, this is like a 4-day conference and we've been here for 18 hours and you're telling me that this is a day one thing? If anything, I thought you would have worked us up and built it up to like day 4 and maybe that was like the finale, but no, that was like the grand opener. And so he was saying, Tony Robbins was saying, when you burn your finger and you touch a hot metal pan on the stove, that's about 600 degrees. And we walked over 1,800 to 2,000 degree burning hot coals barefoot. So that definitely required a lot of mental preparation because that's not something you just do. There were some people who didn't do it and they were turning around. And then there were some people who just did it joyfully and happily. And yeah, we did it. I kind of got micro burns on my foot, but it was fine. Nothing really damaged. And I think it's because I took myself out of that state for a second because I was so distracted by everything that was going on. It was really loud. There were so many people. How many people were there?
19,
19,000?
12,000 live that were actually in the building, and then 7,000 that were online.
Okay, yeah, that's the number I thought. So yeah, I mean, you're doing this with 12,000, give or take, other people outside at 3 a.m. I think it was around 1 a.m. at this time, right, when we did it. But you're walking at 1 a.m. on the mean streets of New Jersey. Hi, Lady L. And you're walking, you're walking on the mean streets of New Jersey barefoot, about to walk barefoot over hot coals. That was my like that. Is it for a rush? Is it a adrenaline rush? Like Mark said, I've skydived before. I don't know if anyone else here has skydived. I don't know what is the
Skydive.
past tense of skydive. Sky
I went
skydive?
skydiving
Yes.
because I'm,
But I mean, I've gone skydiving before, right? And that was what? I don't know how high up you are in
10,000
a plane.
feet.
Yeah, I think it was over 12,000 feet high up in the sky. But I feel like this required a lot more preparation, and this was actually scarier. Um, so that was interesting. Hi, Ingrid. Yeah,
We go
so
to
for the people,
Hutchins. Let's go to Hutchins.
yeah, so for the people that are just, logging on and joining us, we're talking about how we were in New Jersey for Unleash the Power Within and how that really helped us uncover things and unpackage things that we didn't even know were there, deep in our spirit, deep in our soul, right? You see a lot of people that came there that like need either Jesus or a psychiatrist or some coach. But then you see a lot of healing as well, right? And a lot of just self reflection, self awareness. And yeah, I mean, people that have gone to events like this, at least the ones that I knew or know, they said, "Oh yeah, I totally enjoyed it. I loved it." And I didn't even know they had gone until after they saw I had posted that we went. Um, and they said, "Oh yeah, if everyone goes to events like these, the world would be a better place." Um, and so, yeah, Mark, what was the one thing that you feel like was the most helpful, I guess, or the most positive thing that you took from the experience? Like, what would you
I
say would
can't
be
say
that?
one. There's so many because I mean, the last day was more of like a damn. And the reason why I say that, and you know, what's up, Ingrid, and we'll come out another time to come check you out. So I don't want to hang in. Yeah, we did go without you, and it was damn good. But anyways, there was so many different things, right? I mean, like I told Joraine, like there are like 5 or 6 to 8 different elements of that thing that we could take home and implement ASAP, right? Um, I mean, I would say the one thing for me, especially because I'm big, I'm fat, like is eating the right things, right? Because not knowing that the things out there that can hurt you, right? And again, you can. The thing is, I try to do a lot of research and follow a lot of different things that help in those areas of like learning, but like I just didn't know that. I mean, you realize as you get older that your health is the most important part because they. And this was what got me. And what's the name of that guy? I know he's the third. Um, but he said that your every like almost every single person's body, ever since they've had a drink, had a smoke, had any type of food that was not organic or wasn't sprayed with pesticides, is not working in its optimal um it's not working optimally the way that it should at its best. And it's like, even right now, when you work out, you do all these different things, it's like your body still has not been working at its best. And to think that every single person out there right now is dealing with something going on. Because I've known people that are super healthy that died of a heart attack. How in the world do they have a heart attack if, or for some reason that they just pass away out of nowhere when they're super healthy, eating clean, working out, doing all these different things that we are now trying to do as we are older to maintain life, to hang on to those things. And that thing was for me is very, very big, because I'm like, I'm not small, I'm big, you know. So, and I've lived a life of eating nothing but processed food. And I think that was one thing that really was just like opened my eyes to the things that we need to start paying attention to. You know, just the things that we like, even down to chips. Like, it was so crazy because this guy that was speaking, he's 70 years old and he looked like he's no more than 30. And he wakes up every single morning with a big old smile on his face, which I do now, right? You wake up with a smile on your face every single, like when you wake up, he was like this. This is his example. He was like this. Everybody wakes up like this. So he literally gets down on the floor and he goes, oh, oh, he snoozes. Oh, you snooze. Oh, you snooze. Oh, and then you get up and your body's all aching and stuff like that. But he said the way that he wakes up, as well as everybody should, is he did like this. He was like this. He's like, almost like super bubbly. But I mean,
Yeah.
for the past, like, ever since we've gotten back, I've tried, like, every single time, just kind of wake up, regardless of how I'm feeling, just to put a smile on my face. Because the way that you change your physiology, which is what he talked, which Tony Robbins talks about, is you can change the trajectory of how you're feeling at any point in any time, because it is your decision to do that. You can choose to feel lazy and be tired, but you do have the ability to create as much energy as you want to do something that you want to do. For example, tell me anybody that's out there being in Vegas when you were young, right? Out there young, you know, doing all the stupid stuff you were doing, hanging out, doing, and like going out, hanging out with your friends, right? You would stay up till what, 3, 4 in the morning, right? Get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to work, to go to school, whatever it is that you used to do, right? Those things, you put your mentality into that state where, you know what, I could do it. Bam, the mind is going to tell your whole body, hey, this is how we should be doing it. This is what we're going to do. It's going to hurt, but we could push through it. Changing your physiology at any point in any time during any single day will definitely help, no matter what it is you're doing. So those are the key things that I've kind of taken away from it.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on what you said, for anyone that doesn't know, right? Like, yes, that was a big thing too that I learned, was that yes, your physiology affects your mental state, your emotional state. And then with the whole eating thing, like Mark looks at the labels now of all the fruits and vegetables because he said, oh, if it starts with a 4 or a 3, it's GMO or has been sprayed with pesticides. But if it's a 5 digit, and it starts with a 5, then
Nine, the
a 9,
nine.
then it's organic. But if it's a 4 digit and it starts with a 4 or a 3, then it's, yeah, either GMO or been sprayed with pesticides. So now Mark's like, oh my gosh, I can't buy that banana. It starts with a 4. So it's interesting to see how just the more aware you are of things, how you can take that into your daily life and change habits, create new habits. Because, like Mark was saying, before we went to that conference, we were the snooze people. We were so tired and like we didn't have energy. And now I feel like we have so much energy, like too much energy sometimes, I think, for some
Make
people. Because then
a
we're just
move.
like,
Make a
yes,
move.
yes. Like we are just so energetic. Even when we're like, even if we start feeling like we're in a slump and it's like we are aware of like, okay, if I'm feeling tired, like what is my body language doing? Am I slouching in the chair? Let me sit up. Let me take some breaths. Let me get my mind right. Let me take some, do some visualization. Let me make a move,
Yes.
and like, yes, yes, and doing those things actually does work. And we've been doing it probably for like what, 3 weeks now we've been back. And I mean, I feel like we have not been sluggish at all, even on days where we were physically tired or maybe our mind needed a little bit more pushing. Like today, for example, was one because we had the cleaners come and we had to do a whole bunch of other things, but we didn't take a nap. I know we wanted to take a nap. There was that point after lunch where we're just like, oh, I want to take a nap, but then we didn't. And so I feel like, yes, you definitely are in control of your mind, your body. And another thing that I really learned that I feel like was very life changing for me was the demolishing of limiting beliefs. And it brought to my awareness beliefs that I had that I didn't even know that I had, which affect the way that I look at other people and even look at myself and how I treat myself and how I feel it towards other people. And so um, that was a big one for me because now it's like, oh, you know, because I was able to change that belief, that now I feel like that just changes my whole outlook on life and how I operate and
Yeah,
how I feel.
it's very important too. Like, I mean, I just think about it even um just changing the way that you feel towards, people, right? So I'm a poker player, right? I will label myself as a poker player, right? Um
And
and
you are. Congratulations on winning a tournament yesterday.
I didn't win, but so like I like when I play poker, right? My and I like to play tournaments. And if you guys like think about a competition, like number one is the one I always aim for. I'm always thinking, oh, what's the bare minimum somebody's got to get into it? It's not about that. I'm not trying to, you know, spend a few hours and get a few bucks. It's like I want that, like that. I want that top spot you know? And it's like, so yesterday, having this situation, I was playing in the tournament, there were about 24 people, right? And playing with people I've never met, some people I've never met, but I've never played with these people at all. So it's almost like you're going to like a casino playing at a table. And it's probably the first live game I played since UPW. And I just felt like I could read people a whole lot easier. It's easier for me to now, my table talk though is probably what got people to call me, and I'll do all these different things. But it was so interesting because I just felt it felt clear on what my goal was. There is no second place. There is no third. There's like I'm aiming for that top spot. So if you're there, I'm coming for it. And I didn't get the top spot. I did get second, so I was like super pissed. But hey, you know what? It's a win because again, playing against people you never met. I mean, I was pretty proud of myself because I spent all that time. I spent maybe 2 or 3 hours there, but was able to win some money, which is great. But I mean, I can still do this even with my clients. If my clients, I feel like there's a need that they're looking for, I can read it and like, you know what, you're texting me, but I can feel like you need something besides this conversation we're having. Is there something going on that can help you with, right? Um, and just kind of calling those things out, right? I mean, again, I haven't really. We'll talk next week about it since we'll be gone. But I mean, I'm just saying, it's just the clarity of what your goals are. Like we have, like Joraine and I have been in these mini competitions with each other. It's like, all right, if you win, I'll give you a foot massage, or you win, you get to choose dinner. And it's like you have these friendly conversations and these friendly challenges. Because Joraine and I are super competitive. Can you say at a scale of 1 to 10, how competitive do you think our family is?
12.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
I
15,
mean, I
but
was
like
thinking if I should go 15. I feel like I'm less competitive than I used to be. I used to be super competitive. Like I would win at all costs. Now I feel like, maybe I'm older, kind of slowing down a little bit, so I'm not as competitive, but still, probably more competitive than 90% of people out there.
what up, Jose? What
Hi,
crack?
Jose.
I don't know. You got crab? Is that crab? I don't know. I'm still. I don't know. But yeah. I mean, I think you're right. I think we're very competitive. Like even when that's probably one of the traits that I liked about Joraine. She was super competitive with me, and again, mind you, I didn't date. I didn't like, I never like hung out or talked to any females. Well, I did, but I not like that in that way. More like friends. But like I never in the what is it, the Gen Z way of saying it? I never rizzed up a girl before, right? But it was funny because like those traits that she showed me were traits that I would like in a mate. It's like she was competitive. She wasn't scared to say her thing. She wasn't scared to tell me straight up, like, yo, you got a booger in your nose. You probably need to get a piece of tissue to clean that up. So but it's true because you need a significant other that is going to challenge you, to tell you things that other people won't, right? um where and what replace what? What are you talking about? We talking about where we're going or what we're talking about? UPW? Or you got to be a little bit more specific, Jose. Is that where you're from? Wait, is that one cat that I met? Are you the front desk boy? That young cat that I met? I don't know if that's you, man, because I think that was you. I think I got your number and I was texting you talking about you trying to get your license, man. I think Coldwell Banker was one of the only places in Mexico that has one. Oh yeah, I remember you. Yeah, I remember you. How you doing, man? I mean, I'm sorry that I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, people. I'm having conversations with people in the chat, but yeah. So this young cat right here, dude, I told you I'm from California, man. I don't even know if you know what that insignia is, but anyways, I hope you're doing good, man. I'll message you later. But yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. They are gonna have an event next year in California. So if you guys are
Yeah.
thinking about checking out UP,
And the people, right? Like at that event we were at last week, there is a virtual option to attend, but there were how many countries that were there? 55
100,
countries? Oh,
119.
119?
I don't
Okay.
know why I remember that, but it was like 119 countries. I didn't even know we had that many, but
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, there was definitely a lot of people there. Yeah, I'm from the Bay Area, bro. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm definitely trying to go.
Yeah,
Next,
I mean, we would definitely recommend it to anybody,
yeah,
like
there's,
for sure.
I don't,
10 out of 10.
I don't think there's one person I've told I've experienced that I told that I went has told me about it, that they wanted to go and haven't had anything bad to say about it, which was pretty crazy. How old do I look? If you're gonna ask me how old I am on Instagram, and
That's funny. I want to hear
don't,
his guess.
don't,
I want to hear his guess too
don't,
before
don't
he.
let this fogginess fool you, man. How old you think I'm is?
Oh my
It's gonna
God.
be so funny if he says like 34. Oh,
25. It's
thank you,
dark.
my
It's
friend,
dark.
my friend. Nah, I'm not 25, bro. I mean, you think I look as young as you, bro?
That's a
I'm
compliment.
that is a huge compliment because I am 41 years old. I know I act like a 12-year-old, but that's my personality. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Lady L. We have Lady L on here commenting with the emojis. Why don't you ask us a
Let's bring
question?
her on. Can we?
No, we can. You. Let's see. We can request, but I don't think they can deny.
Three people on? I don't even know if you could get three people on.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
done that
yes,
before.
I'm 41,
Did that
right?
with Rodney. Rodney, I think, is still on here. Oh, she said no. Oh, Rodney guessed. Kudos to Rodney. But yes,
I thought he was
it's six.
saying 41. Like, dang, you're 41? You don't look that good for 41. I'm just playing. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
yeah,
I mean, it was definitely a life-changing experience, definitely a life-changing event. I mean, we definitely still have a lot more work to do. But it was an eye-opening experience. I would recommend it to anybody. And there was just so much more to unpackage. It's hard to
yeah,
articulate in 30 minutes
yeah.
everything that we experienced through that. But yeah, what's
I,
Hobby Lobby?
yeah, that
Hobby Lobby?
it's a craft store. But anyways, what do you guys think we should discuss? I mean, we have a few topics, but I wanted to ask you guys, like, what do you guys think that we should discuss on our next live? So next Thursday we'll be live again.
Yeah.
It'll be a Niner game, but I
Yeah,
don't know who's watching it.
what are some topics you think we should discuss next Thursday? Ooh, what would happen in the election? That's a good one.
Well, you
Yeah, I mean,
think?
if you guys have suggestions, drop them in the comments and we'll talk about them maybe next
I
Thursday.
have no idea what he's saying. He says what happened in the elections, and he just said Kendrick. I don't listen to Kendrick Lamar. If um out of all the activity you guys did at the convention, did you think what you gonna have to look, man? Enunciate. You need to check GPT some of these things out Of all the activities you guys did at the convention, comma, did you think opened your mind more or opened up? I mean, health is wealth.
For sure. Yeah, a quote that they said, which like made sense to me, and I mean, I'll share even though we're past time, real quick. Um, one of the quotes that they said was, "a a wealthy, a healthy man has a million dreams or a million wishes or something like that," and then they said an unhealthy man only has one. And that hit me deep because, we're very busy. Mark and I, we run a team and we're very busy and devoted and passionate. We love what we do and we're very involved with our friends and our family and our church and our clients and our business. And we tend to put ourselves last on the back burner all the time when it comes to working out or self care or eating and things like that. And so we that was something that kind of opened my eyes that we need to prioritize ourselves, and it's not selfish to prioritize yourself, but to take care of yourself because you need to take care of yourself. So that was something that was big for me because I always felt like if I put myself first that it meant that I was selfish, but it's not. It actually kind of helped me reframe my thinking that I'm actually putting myself in a better position to serve others by putting myself first and taking a step back and doing the things that I need to do, whether it's resting or eating or, having a doctor's appointment. Because I used to feel guilty. Like, oh, I have a doctor's appointment. Let me just cancel it so I could go do this open house. Like, no. Now I'm going to tell people, like, I have a doctor's appointment. We can reschedule it for another time and talk another time. But
So,
yeah,
so you mentioned the one thing or the one wish that the unhealthy person has. What do you think that one wish was?
just to be
Yeah,
healthy.
I was thinking the same.
Is this a trick question?
Or healthier, right?
Yeah. Or I think it was like a dying man's wish or something. Um, Only has one.
You think about it, right? When we grow up, as we're children, we don't have a care in the world. And as we get older, through our middays, we make mistakes. And as we get into our later days, we look back at those mistakes and we try to keep ourselves from staying alive longer by working out or doing these things. And I think it's crazy because I've seen many people, different stages of life, whether they're overweight, not overweight, healthy, unhealthy, they all died. It doesn't matter anything in between. It's like you just don't know what it is. I think like going back to the Stone Age where you're not even dealing with electricity or electronics, like being completely off the grid is probably the best way to survive. And then now you're hunting for your own food, you're gathering your own food, and it's like that's the best and the most organic way to get your own food. Because another thing that they talked about was, man, if you're going to get stuff from the store, make sure that you know it's not going to come in plastic. Because the reason why they do that is because it takes so much longer for them to get to the actual source to you. And I didn't even think about those things, right? You just think like, oh, I'm just gonna go give me a soda, but you don't know where that soda has been. One, there's the stuff that's in it. Second, you don't know how long it took for that to get to that spot, right? And that's the same. The one number one thing, and I stopped drinking milk like many years ago. Um, and they talked about the whole milk thing, right? And for you guys that shouldn't, it's very, very simple. We're talking cows' milk is meant for calves, not meant for people. So we've been completely brainwashed to know what this whole food pyramid was, and it has been completely wrong. Because I mean, I loved milk back in the day, but I just don't like it now. It just gives me stomach aches. It's just not for you. But anyways, totally different story. If you guys have any questions, we'll definitely know. This guy's going on a rant. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think that we should definitely talk about some things that you guys would really, really like for us to discuss, and we'll look put it on there and we'll discuss it. I mean, what do you guys want to know? I mean, we talked about some of our good stuff, some of the bad stuff, some of the stuff we do on a personal basis. Like, what is it that you guys are wanting to know about us? what do you think is a good discussion to have, coming
Yeah.
up?
Just drop it in the comments. 6:35. Thank you for everyone that joined us today. And we will see you next week at 6
All
p.m. on
right,
Thursday Talks with the
Rolling
Costales.
Stones, Pink Floyd, they're ready. Peace out. Bye.